Okay, Q&A. You guys have asked me a fuckload of questions, and I'm gonna try and get through as many as I can. I am kind of dreading this, mainly because I'm a very private person. So me having to answer these questions, on the internet especially, where it'll never go away, I'm doing something very out of my comfort zone right now. So let's see how this goes. So I asked on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. So I'm gonna go one after the other. First question, how many siblings do you have? I have 3 older brothers. We're all 3 years apart. And all 3 of us have graduated university with a degree in psychology. Fun fact, did you adopt Ashe? No, I didn't adopt Ashe. I actually birthed him myself. Yeah, I did adopt Ashe. This is Ashe, by the way. Are you Ligma? What is Ligma? I don't know. How does the way you look at the world a year ago compare to how you do now? I'll say this. Honestly, not very different. I've definitely affirmed a lot of my theories in my brain. So, you know me. I spend a lot of time psychoanalyzing myself, trying to figure out what kind of person I am. Very psychological thing for me to do. And I developed a lot of theories about the world. And what makes a theory objective, or what makes a theory reality, is trial and error and testing it. Have it become something in the real world. So a theory is only a theory until it is tested. This year, specifically when I started this YouTube shit, I tested a fuckload of theories. And I've definitely confirmed a whole lot of shit. What's different? Not that much. But I have definitely confirmed a few things, which I'm going to continuously use to move forward. A little bit vague, but I hope you can understand what I mean. Who's the best jeweler you know? The best jeweler I know is a good friend of mine named Diamond Touch Toronto. His Instagram is over here. Absolute gangster. My Instagram manager asked me, what is your goal for Instagram? Get me to 10K, that would be nice. I'm saying that to my manager who's managing my Instagram. If you want to follow it, feel free. My @ is over here. Good friend of mine, Benjamin, asks me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 years is a long time. I know where I want to see myself in 1 to 2 years, but 5 years? 5 years is a bit deep, I'm not gonna lie. But in 5 years, let's give a few things. First, I want to own at least a few properties. Secondly, for friendships, I'd like to be friends with more like-minded people within 5 years' time. People who I can consider brothers to me. Physically, I'd like to be 180 to 190 pounds of just pure muscle, lean muscle, and I'd like to have good health. That's what I want. For myself and for my family. And for my close friends and everyone that I care for. And for everyone that's loyal to me. I want everyone to be in good health in 5 years. Is genius made or born? Made. No one's ever born a genius. That's not how life works. It's curated and developed. Why are you so haram? Are you trying to date? Brother, find God. How do you pronounce your username? My real name is Hxsain. H-U-S-A-I-N. The X in my name is actually a U. How do you pronounce my username? It's just Hxsain, my real name. How tall am I? I'm 5'10". When did you get your cat? I got this dickhead June 2021 when he was a kitten. And the backstory behind that, a good friend of mine named Amar, shout out to Amar, he got 2 cats. His brother's friend had a bunch of kittens. So Amar was like, fuck it, let me get 2 of them. So he got the 2 cats. Everyone in his family wanted it besides his mom. His mom said you have to get rid of the cats. So Amar messaged me. He's like, do you want this cat? And I came over to his house. I saw both of the cats. I had a choice between the black one or the white one. Obviously, I picked the black one, if you couldn't already tell by now. And I'm very glad that I did, because this guy is a genius and he's a lovely feline, and I'm very grateful for him. And for Amar. Shout out to Amar. Who in the YouTube space do you dislike heavily? I wouldn't say I dislike anybody, but I would say there's a few people who I am thoroughly disappointed in. I'd say the number 1 person is Aiden Ross, because this guy's a year older than me, about 10 months older than me, and the way how he lives is everything I say not to do in my videos. Don't be lazy, have good habits, surround yourself with good friends, don't watch porn, don't be a degenerate, don't do drugs, stick to your promises, have some respect for yourself. I could keep going. I hope one day he gets a big wake-up call and he actually decides to get himself straight. So I wouldn't say I dislike anyone, but there are certain people who I'm just disappointed in. Aiden Ross being one of them. What was the motivation to start YouTube? I was at a point where I wanted to try something new, and I also wanted to see how far I can take it. I used to manage other YouTube creators. I'm not gonna say who, but I used to manage a few other creators, and I would help them get to multi-millions of views. So I was like, wait a fucking second. If I could do it for them consistently, I'm sure I could try and do it for myself, right? So I tried it out to see how far I could take it, and here we are. What was the motivation? I wanted to test myself. I'm always trying to test myself, always. That's why I've been posting every single day since I created this channel, to test myself. All the habits that I indulge in, the difficult things that most people couldn't do, it's all to test myself. What's the motivation? To test myself. Are you Arab? I am not Arab. Can we see Ashe as a kitten? Yeah, here's a picture. Will you make long form videos of like reaction videos or anything like that? Maybe one day. I want to keep my long form videos more personal, that shows more of my personality. So maybe, I guess, I might try it. What would you do if your cat died? It would hurt, but I do understand the cycle of life very, very well. He's not gonna live forever. Anything can happen at any time. But I understand the way how God in the universe works is if that were to happen to me, when it does happen to me, I just gotta keep strengthening myself. So when the time does come, I'm able to handle it a lot better. He's alive right now, what the fuck am I saying? Yeah, anyways. Would you rather choose family or success? Family. Alright, that's enough for Instagram. Let's go to Twitter. What made you start the journey of 0 to a million? So on Twitter, everything started from my career on Twitter. Okay, so October last year, I made this video. I'm gonna link it in the description. It was a very bold video of mine. The point of the video was to just say I'm on this next chapter. If you want to join me, join me. I'm gonna try and get to 0 to a million. 0 to a million followers, money, subscribers, no matter what it is, I'm just gonna try doing it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. That was what the point of the video was. What made me do that? To test myself. Are you happy with how you're doing / accomplishing? I am. I'm not gonna say I'm satisfied, because the second I become satisfied, that's the second that I put a pedestal on myself. So, am I content? Sure. Have I reached my peak? Absolutely not. I still got so much shit to do. What was the best way for you to get boosted onto the algorithm, and how many times do you post? I post twice a day, and the best way to get boosted, in my opinion, is 3 things. 1, your average view duration. So that's essentially how long the average person watches for. Get that as high as you can. Secondly, there's a thing on YouTube called the scroll to scroll away rate. If it's anything over 80%, that's a viral video. And third of all, when you make your videos, focus the intention on building a community for yourself and be motivated to build your community. I feel like one of the main reasons why I've gone as far as I am is because I actually give a shit about my community. I focus the majority of my attention when I make my videos on the people who are loyal to me and the people who actually care for me. So when I focus on them, the result is everything else. The most important thing to get boosted on the algorithm is build a community and find reason within yourself, within your brain, within your heart, to develop a genuine care for your audience. That is what's most important. If money were no object, how would you spend your time? Exactly what I'm doing right now. I find so much fulfillment in knowing I have an impact on your guys' life. Even if it's 1%. If I can make you 1% better, I'm doing something right. So if you have one piece of advice for someone as hardworking as yourself / your younger self, what would it be? Watch One Piece. Yeah. And be good to yourself. Have good habits and actually care for yourself. That's what I would say. What makes you lose respect for someone? There's nothing that pisses me off more when someone says they're gonna do something and then they don't do it. When somebody can't fulfill their promises, that really annoys me. Why are you so sexy? Because I care for myself. Who's your biggest motivator or mentor? I have 3 people who I'd like to say. These are all people who I've already interacted with online, so we know of each other. 3 people I would say is Brandon Carter, Justin Walder, and Hxsain. All 3 of them have helped me tremendously this entire year. What keeps you motivated? Keeping promises to myself. I want to make sure I do that. Can you reply to my DM? Yes, shoutout, I'll reply to your DM. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully everywhere where I want to be. How was your life growing up? I don't know actually. I don't know if I want to classify it as difficult because my perception of it was easy to handle. But to other people, when they see it and hear about it, they're like, holy shit. So to me, it was alright. You know, I will say I had gone through a few things, but to other people, they're always like, that's crazy. So to me, it was alright. What pushes you to be better? My future self. I don't want my future self to look back at me and get pissed off at me for not being able to sacrifice for him. If I'm shit, that's a result of my own negligence and incompetence. My future self should not have to deal with my own negligence. So, how old are you? This is the one question I'm not gonna answer. Go Google my age, okay? Google Hxsain's birthday with an X over the U. That's how old I am. What is it like having such a wonderful cat like Ashe? Honestly, it's great. He's a very lovely cat. I've trained him to be everything I want him to be. Congratulations for 300k. Thank you. My question is, do you have copyright issues with the clips from other videos or images from the internet of your videos? No, thankfully I don't. What is the worst experience you ever had? Probably both my parents having a stroke in 1 year, plus 2 other things that I'm not gonna say. That was a crazy fucking year. What accomplishment are you most proud of? Probably getting to 100 million views. My main goal for 2023 was to get to 100 million views by the end of the year. I made that goal when I had 300,000 views total, which was December 2022, so 8 months ago. So I said to myself, I have no choice but to achieve this goal. And I had expected to hit it by the end of 2023, so the end of this year. I ended up doing it in 4 months, so that's easily my greatest accomplishment. I had initially set the level so far ahead, thinking that 100 million was so difficult to achieve, which in hindsight, it definitely wasn't easy. I had to fight through getting sick, I had to fight through school, running 2 businesses. It was fucked, but I still made it work. That's my answer. What is your PR at the gym? My max bench of all time is 225. And then I went on a cut after that, and now it's definitely way less. Probably like 180, 190. Deadlift I never tried, but I can rep out 2 plates pretty easily. And squat, I can't squat. I fucked up my leg, so I can't squat. I could leg press like 400 to 500 though, so yeah. What is your favorite show? One Piece. How can you manage so many things like businesses, a YouTube channel? How difficult is it? And congrats on 300k, thank you very much. Honestly, just discipline. That's all it is, just discipline. Doing the hard work when I don't want to do the hard work. The ability to work past that demon in your brain that tells you just lay down, that's what it is. So time management, discipline, and wanting the best for myself. What is your ideal lifestyle? Financial freedom and location freedom. Are you Muslim? I am Muslim. What is your opinion on Sam Bucha? Sam, I actually really do like him. I think he's a very smart man. People don't realize this, but there's a reason why he's at the top of the YouTube Shorts game. He's a genius, and I have nothing but respect for him. Last question, what is your craziest fan interaction? In July, when I disappeared for 2 weeks, I went to this place that I go to every single year. I've been going every single year since I was 5 years old for anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. I disappear from the rest of the planet, I get off my phone, I get off the internet, I get off social media, I vanish. So I'm in this place that's literally in the middle of buttfuck nowhere with 250 people about, and I'm there for 2 weeks. I come across this one kid who's a viewer of mine, and I'm talking with a bunch of my friends, and he comes up to me and he's like, is this you? And like gives like my channel, and it shows subscribed. And I was like, yeah, that is me. And then I like asked him a few questions like, oh, when did you start watching, blah blah blah. I'm like, what's your name? He has the same name as me, shout out to Hxsain. And he's like, oh, I've been watching for like a few months. So it's not really crazy, but the next day I gave him my favorite black t-shirt, and I was really happy about that. Even though all I wear is black t-shirts, I actually do have favorites that fit better than others. So I gave him my favorite shirt, and yeah, never saw him again. Shout out to Hxsain. Alright, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you very much for the questions, everybody. I very much appreciate it. And if you're watching this far, comment Ashe123 and I'm gonna heart all your comments. Thank you very much.